Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So it'll work out nice. Because we'll be able to get them for the very first letter that you write to the IRS. Like, hi, Susie. How are you? You know, like, my name is Bob. How can I help you? Just something nice.
That's tight. That's nice. That's crazy. That's
pretty
tight, yeah.
Oh, how could you help me? Oh, you give me all your money. Oh, that's special. Why would I want to give you all my money, Susie? Well, that's because you owe money. Oh, are you saying I owe money? And then the next letter, oh, how much do you believe I owe, Susie? Well, I don't believe you owe anything. Then why are we having this conversation, Susie? You see what I'm saying? Stuff like that and back and forth. Well, I'm not saying you owe any money. Well, who is? Well, IRS is. Oh, really? When am I going to get to meet Mr. IRS? Or maybe it's Mrs. You know, apologize for me if I'm, if I'm an error. Oh, that's funny, man. He's already making noise on this thing. I got nobody on this call, and there's already noise, background noise. So let me just mute everything out. Oh no, I think it was Learning Law guy. He's the only making noise other than you.
Oh yeah.
Learning Law, but I thought Learning Law was the guy from Pennsylvania. I thought that was Dennis.
Oh, is that you, Dennis?
No, Learning Law is the guy from Ontario.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Learning Law. He's got his microphone open, so that's what I'm saying. It's the only one that else could be making noise right now.
I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. But yeah, like I said with Larry, it's just all we can do is
I know. I've been noticing lately. I've been getting calls from all over the place lately, especially from Texas. Man, more people been calling me from Texas. I think I told you earlier I had this couple come down from Texas trying to learn. So I had to take them all the way back to the beginning of 187 on Angela's call.
Yeah, well, like I said, that's what I like about this. Like I said, it's a brand new couple. You know, they haven't done any crazy stuff, in the past, and it's a nice clean slate. So I could actually start them from, it's just like the way I always try to tell people to do it. But by the time they get a hold of me, they're already so deep into problems, it's not even funny, and they already pissed so many people off in the government or the IRS, it's not even funny.
Mm.
So it's nice to get a couple that has never had a letter from the IRS in their 70s. I guess the government not the government. The government and the IRS is two different things. Sorry about that. But the IRS is just flat out saying to them, look, we know you've been successful your whole lives. You've acquired quite a bit of wealth, and you got something that we're going to try to take for nothing, for not doing anything. We're going to try to take your blood, sweat, and tears, and we'll see if we can get away with it.
That blood, sweat, and that's sweat and tears, equity, and your sweat and tears. That's a pretty darn effective weapon for people that's losing their homes and everything.
Oh yeah, like I said, it's a lot of fun, man. That like I said, some sort of agency that I can't really see, and nobody, and even that agency itself, there's really. I'd like to see where they say how they perform a benefit to a man who's worked his whole life, and a man who hasn't asked anything of, that agency. I'm not saying hasn't asked anything in the United States, but I'm saying who hasn't asked of anything of that agency. Why do I owe you a debt? What have I ever done for you? I mean, the electric company, I can understand. They provided electricity. But you show me what, who this agency represents. Because it's funny, when I got the letter for that they wrote, they said send your check to the U.S. Treasury. I said, what U.S. Treasury? I said, there's no, as far as I know, the United States government has something called the Department of Treasury, or the United States Department of Treasury. That might exist, but what's U.S. Treasury? I'm sure I could start up a company tomorrow called U.S. Treasury.
Right.
And it's obviously it's not the same thing as the United States Department of Treasury. Obviously, it's not the same as U.S. Treasury. Maybe tomorrow I can make a something called UC Treasury or UP Treasury or UB Treasury. Make your checks payable to UT Treasury. You know, when I read the lady's letter, it says make your checks payable to U.S. Treasury. U.S. Treasury? What the F is the U.S. Treasury?
Right.
You're taking on a lot of presumption and thinking that the U.S. must mean the United States. It can't mean, it couldn't possibly mean anything else other than the United States. Well, really, what else could it mean? I was like, I don't know. How many hours do we got to kill and putting the string together of U and S together and coming up with all kinds of unicorn and silly stuff, together, and just come up with all kinds of nonsense. We say, okay, it's a unicorn and a serpent. It's the unicorn serpent treasury, U.S. Treasury. What makes me think it's the United States Department of Treasury? It did not say, the IRS letter did not say, make your checks payable to the United States Department of Treasury. It didn't say that. It said, make your check payable to U.S. Treasury. It said U.S. Treasury what? That's the most ridiculous thing I ever was looking at. It said, make your checks payable to U.S. Treasury. U.S. Treasury, what's a U.S. Treasury?
So why they hide it like that?
Because I guarantee the United States Department of Treasury doesn't want to be liable for anything. I guarantee they take your checks and they just throw them in the trash. They just burn them. They just destroy them. They couldn't care less. They print the money. They print out truckloads of this stuff, mountains of this stuff. They don't give a damn. They want more credit. All they do is add some more zeros. And it's a ledger sheet. They don't care.
So
they're just taking wealth and destroying it. That's all they're doing. They're just trying to slow down the economy. That's all they're doing. That's all to me. Okay, this is my opinion. This is all that the United States. This is all that the IRS does. Is they just try to create like a world balance. They try to make it so our economy doesn't become too great or too powerful or too strong. And the reason why I believe is because people from India, China, Africa, they all come trying to flock over here to the United States because of great opportunity and great wealth. Well, if they could slow down the United States down a little bit, they'll say, oh, look, if you make too much money over the United States, they'll throw you in jail. You got to pay taxes. And the people think twice from leaving China. They'll think twice about leaving India. They say, oh, you know what? Look at all these doctors and look at all these people who are going to jail in the United States and not paying taxes. You know what? Maybe we just better stay here. If there was taxes in the United States, every single, doctor or scientist or, architect or anybody who had any real skills would leave their homeland in a heartbeat and come here.
Right.
So they're like, well, no, we're going to get taxed like crazy, we got to pay taxes. Oh, forget it. It's not worth us moving there. We might as well stay here. We're going to basically, in the long run, make the same amount of money. We might as well stay here in India or China or Japan. We might as well just stay here. Slows down the economy. I bet you they just take your checks and just throw them in the toilet. I guarantee they couldn't care less. They just want to destroy, take some wealth down and not take you down a notch or two. Just keep you in your place. That's all they're doing.
Well, you know what, and you might be right, because this young lady got this IRS woman coming up to her for a debt that she had already paid, and she got all her documents, and she still, another IRS agent come up to her for the same exact thing that she paid 5-6 years ago. The same debt, the same numbers, the same. I mean, do they automatically get screwed up like that? Will they just really come after people like that on the same debt again?
That's what I'm saying is that could just be a clerical error. What I'm trying to say is they probably, what I'm presuming, is they're just taking whatever money you send them and throw it away. They don't even bother. What bother? They print the damn money. What do they need? I mean, who's going to recheck their numbers anyway? Who's going to call them out? Who's going to say, hey, I want to see every damn check, every damn dime that you ever collected from any U.S. citizen in the past 2-3 years? Who's ever going to do that? Who's actually going to go run through those numbers? When I tell people, here's my, and you guys are really hardcore on this, when I tell people, hey, here's my letter K, now here's the letter G, tell me what you think and send me back what you got done. Nobody sent me back any damn thing. Nobody's even responded to the letter K. So if these people who listen to these shows like real hardcore, who's really going to care what the IRS is really doing with the money? Does anybody just ever ask, hey, where did our check go? Where did the money go that I paid you last year? Where did it go? No, nobody asked a simple question. Where did it go?
Right.
Show me proof of where it went. Went to pay off the national debt. What national debt? What are you talking about? Where did it actually go? What account number did it go into? Where's the national debt? Who do we borrow the money from? And show us how we paid it. And like they always say all the time, like Alan Greenspan, that's why he got kicked out. He said we could get rid of the national debt overnight.
Yeah.
So it was hyperinflate the currency, make it so a loaf of bread cost $1 trillion, and be done within about 10 seconds. And you guys wouldn't even realize that the loaf of bread cost $1 trillion there for about 10 seconds, like New Year's Eve at 2 o'clock in the morning. We could hyperinflate the currency, balance the books, and go back to normal the next day. You guys wouldn't even know what happened. And obviously, that when that hit C-SPAN or whatever, obviously they kicked them out. They said, that's it. Like you just told the people that this is all a joke. This is all fraud. This is all based on faith. I was like, here it is. And he got busted for doing that. And they put the Bernanke guy in. Like, next time, keep your mouth shut. Don't tell these people this is all based on fraud. Well, you won't have anybody paying any of this stuff. If you tell me we just wiped the debt out in 20 seconds, yeah, it's just a computer. We push the button and it's done. Then why are we paying you guys?
And that's why you say it's a hard thing to prove, to fraud.
Right, but like I said, it's not right. But like I said, it's all everything. Okay, when my mom worked for the IRS, my uncle worked for the bank. Tell them people a million times. I've been taught this since I was a little kid. It's all based on fraud. Only God knows what's true. We're just guessing. If man created it, it's based on fraud. We're just guessing. We don't know what's true. Only God knows what's true. It's all fraud. Unless God made it, it's fraud. You have no freaking idea what's true. It's all based on faith. We all believe what we made was good, or what we make is, just like when that Frankenstein guy made that Frankenstein, he believed he made something that was good and it was a great benefit to man. Like even though he tried to play God, it didn't work out so well for him, did he?
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't work out very well. Not for him or that little girl that the monster killed. Work out too well. But he didn't set out to kill a little girl. His creation might have, but he didn't know. The creation didn't have a right frame of thought, right mind. Yeah. What man put into his creation. The man can only do so much, man. Man's going to make mistakes. So, like I said, when Bernanke said that, man, not Bernanke, when Greenspan said that, you know what? If we could clear this all down, balance the books of the United States government in 10 seconds, you guys wouldn't even know the loaf of bread costs $1 trillion. We'd do it so quick, you guys would never even feel it.
He told too much and got rid of his ass real quick.
Yeah, I guarantee you guys could find it on YouTube, and you can see when Greenspan says hyperinflate the currency will eliminate the national debt instantly. So then, why are you hurting all these people by pulling their money from them? If you're saying that the IRS taxes go to pay off the national debt, then why are you trying to say, well, look, people, if you don't pay your share, we can't balance the national debt. And then you got people like Glenn Beck and Alex Jones screaming, "Oh, the national debt is going to destroy the U.S. economy." And I just laugh. What do you mean destroy the U.S. economy? Greenspan said, you guys wouldn't even feel it. We do it to you in 20 minutes, it's done. You wouldn't even realize what happened. Well, like I said to people, look what happened not this January 1st, the January 1st before then, when the United States tried to pay off China with a $1 trillion platinum coin. And said, well, there you go. We owe you $1 trillion in debt here. Here's a platinum coin. It's worth $1 trillion. Why? Because the United States government says so. And China said, you stick that fucking coin, someplace. You try to,
and they've been pissed ever since.
Oh, they said, you try to pass that off, and We just had 1 billion Chinese give their life, blood, heart, and soul for 10 years so every American could have a $2 TV and a $2 cell phone and a $20 computer. And you're trying to tell us that we've been eating rice for the last 10 years because we want to, become a world economy, and you're going to give us a coin? Do you think that's going to make it fair and balanced? You're out of your effing mind. But they tried to get away with it. They tried to say, let's get rid of the national debt by making a $1 trillion coin. And all the countries you owe trillions of dollars to, I'll just give them this little coin. Like, yeah, they were going to be cool with that. No, they weren't like, we want 10 trillion metric tons of gold. We don't want your little platinum coin. Well, look, it's got a pretty picture on it. It says 1 trillion on it. It took us about 20 minutes to come up with the design.
Carl, that's crazy, but you sure telling the truth. Man, I can see what you're saying. It's true.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying, but they're still going after the United States. Well, I'm not saying the United States people. They're still going after a man. They're still going after a woman for the supposed help us pay off the national debt. Not the national debt, sorry about that. The United States government's debt. The government, the United States government, and the national debt is two different things. One is the people's debt, and one is the government employees' debt. Two different things.
Right. I know one thing. I never heard anybody put it the way you did about the U.S. Treasury and then the United States Treasury. I mean, that's
the Department of the United States Treasury, right? The United States Department of Treasury. I'm sure by me saying the Department of the United States Treasury, the United States Department of Treasury, and the U.S. Treasury, I guarantee all three are three different things. I love it, man. When you watch these presidents speak, and you could go back and watch any president you wanted at modern TV times, they'll say, in the nation's interest, the country's interest, in the United States' interest, the people's interest, the U.S. citizens' interest. He said like 5 different things, and they mean 5 totally separate things that have absolutely nothing to do with the topic at hand. It's hysterical because there is no synonyms in good law. There is no synonyms. It's either the U.S. Treasury or it's the Department of the United States Treasury or it's the United States Department of Treasury. Like if you wrote a check out to Karl Rudolph Lentz, you're writing it out to me. If you drop off one of the names and go Rudolph Lentz, you're writing it out to my dad because my dad has no middle name. So obviously you're not making a payment to the same person that you owe a debt to. You try to pay Rudolph Lentz, and by dropping off Karl, off the first name, you didn't pay me an effing dime. Well, yes, I did. Look, I got a check right here to Rudolph Lentz. Hey, that's my dad. I didn't feel like telling you that's my dad. I don't have to tell you. It's like, look, dude, all I know is my name is Karl Rudolph Lentz. You send it to Rudolph Lentz. Well, it's the same thing. Dude, how can you be that freaking stupid? Where's the word Karl? Is a Karl missing in that check that you wrote? Yeah, good. Well, it was cashed. By who? How the hell do I know? All I know it wasn't cashed by me, dude. Write me out a freaking check. Oh, I did. Oh, no, you didn't. Yes, I did. Look, it's been cashed. Cashed by who? Rudolph Lentz. It's not the same. It's like saying, well, I did write a check to U.S. Treasury. Well, how about writing out one now to the Department of the United States Treasury? Well, I did. It says U.S. Treasury. The Department of U.S. Treasury say, no, you didn't. You never gave us a freaking dime. We're here to benefit you. Why would you want to give us the money? We're here to benefit. We're here to benefit you. You're man. We're here to serve and for your benefit. Why would we take something from you? Why would we take your property? Why would we cause you harm? Why would we stress you out? When we know we could pay off the national debt in 10 seconds.
Man, that's crazy. Now you know.
No, it's just because you guys are just saying they're too lazy. That's all it is. Everybody's just too lazy. When I look at a piece of paper and it says IRS. It says, what do you mean IRS? You mean the Internal Revenue Service, or the Department of the IRS, or the Department of Revenue, or the Department of Internal Revenue? And then it says U.S. Treasury. You mean U.S. Treasury, or USA Treasury? Like if they have a U.S. Treasury, can I start a company tomorrow called USA Treasury? If nobody took it? Then yeah, sure. Make your checks payable to USA Treasury. Am I saying I'm a department of the United States government known as the Treasury? No, I'm not. I'm just saying, hey, I'm going to make a corporation called USA Treasury. To me, how lazy and stupid can people really be? Now, did you really just write out a check to U.S. Treasury? Did you really do that? Did you really write out a check to you? What happens the next day? They get a letter saying, oh, please make your checks payable to USA Treasury. Oh, you people didn't actually just fill out and just send something called USA Treasury. You do know who you're sending your money to, right? You do know who's on the other end, right? You do know who's going to be receiving it, who's going to be endorsing it. You do know that, right? You did take the time out. You took enough time to earn that money. You think you took enough time out to figure out where it's going and who's receiving it and what they're going to do with it. Like if you gave a kid, I mean, if you had a kid, wouldn't you make sure that you knew who the kid was? You know, you're leaving a kid with. It's your property.
Right.
When you say, hey, man, that's my baby. I worked for it. I earned it. I labored over it. I produced it. On my services, you know, I created that thing. Wouldn't you have a little bit of care and concern? Well, unless it becomes that easy to you, you don't give a damn. So then go ahead. Why don't you tell me, oh, it's on here. Here you go. It's like, look, they create it by numbers by pushing a number on a keypad. It doesn't make any sense to me. So like I said, and I can't believe other people are just like, oh yeah, it makes lots of sense to me. Oh really? Then you explain to me. Where does this money go? And I'll say, well, it goes to pay the national debt. Wait a second. Greenspan said all he had to do is push a button. And 10 seconds later, it's all gone. Man. So why does he just push the damn button?
Right.
And don't take things from a man and then take things from a woman. They got plenty of sales tax, gas tax, property tax, fuel tax, electric tax, cell phone taxes. They got plenty of taxes. What's this thing that we do for what every now and then? What are you talking about?
So, Carl, in other words, all this shit ain't nothing but a game.
It's all based on fraud. It's all based on God. If you don't believe in God, then you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's as simple as that. People who have no concept of God, they're totally clueless, and that's what they want. The government wants you to keep church, or keep religion, or keep God so far out of your life it's not even funny. So that way it's easy for them to control you, so you can't see what I see so easy.